All right. Fun little throwback variety style show with the Badge Bros today. There's tons of fun stuff going on right now. I got my eyes over here for a second because I see Xander Schauffele he's got a wedge into the green here on 9, which is his 18 for a potential course record tying attempt. So some fun stuff going on in the PGA stuff. Consider me a golf guy, guys. 86 first round out golf guy. Yep, heard it here first. But most important thing going right now is we officially got the whole schedule out, and I'm gonna quiz my guy Nez here. I'm gonna see if he put in his homework last night to see if he's up to par, up to standard with the community, because I know the sickos in the community, Nez, they already got this stuff memorized. They're ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Buddy, I'm a badge bro. I do content for my job. You don't think I have week 17 memorized? You don't think I was ranking the best playoff schedules last night?
Okay. Well, let me put you to the test here. I'm gonna get like an ugly one that maybe you weren't paying attention to. Who do the Patriots play in week 17?
Oh, an ugly one. The Chargers at New England? Come on.
At New England? Okay, yeah. You're 1 for 1. All right, I'll get you one more here. One that we didn't talk about yesterday. Where are the Cleveland Browns playing and against whom in week 17?
Can you have to make these harder. This is the Dolphins in Cleveland. You have to do better than this.
Okay, fine. Last one. Jags
play the Titans.
Where?
Ooh, Duval.
Oh man, you're dialed, dude. This is too easy, man. You're printing right now. Okay, you guys want my play-by-play? 121 out. Wedge in. Flag at the back right. Oh, Schauffele's like 25 feet away. I don't think he's got a real legit shot at birdie here. Damn. That would have been cool to see.
Yeah, that's got 3 putt written all over it.
He's doesn't have 3 putt written all over it. But he doesn't look like he does look like he's gonna be the guy you need for the round 1 contest thus far. Like obviously a bunch of guys haven't teed off yet, but yeah, man, 9 under already. Wow. Pretty impressive. Nez, let's talk about the schedule. I finish up with that Jags Titans game there because I low-key think that could be a sneaky one, man. That could be a sneaky one. That's kind of an underpriced one right now. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, that has that. Excuse me. A lot of potential there, right? I mean, the Titans are one of the wider range of outcomes that we have in the league, in my opinion. If Will Levis can, be Jameis Winston, and then this could be a really fun offense potentially, which would make this game a bit of a
fun
shootout.
Comp, dude. That's a good fun comp.
It kind of, yeah, I was gonna say like Jordan Love, but like he's not Jordan Love. Jordan Love, yeah, but like Jameis Winston, I don't know if they want him to be Jameis Winston, but he could be, where he's throwing deep balls and just like playing with reckless abandon, which is just awesome for fantasy and what we want. And good or bad, if that's what he does, then the Titans offense is probably cooking.
Dude, I like that comp. The Jameis one gets me spinning there because like he did almost have that 101 pedigree. He's got a little bit of weird quirkiness to him with like the Mayo bullshit. Like he's a big jacked dude who could sling it. Man, I like this Jameis Winston comp. Just got me all hot and bothered to backdoor stacks of Titans right now.
Oh, dude, this is like a fun team to target. Our boy SportsViz BJ, who I've done some streams with before on his channel, he does data viz for Spike Week, and he had one. He put out a chart for like high value targets, and DeAndre Hopkins was really high on that list. So just another piece to add here. We love obviously your boy Tony Pollard, Mr. Redacted himself. I love Tajay Spears. I love Travis Etienne. I mean, you nailed it, man. This is like low key. This is going to be like our game. We've officially stamped the Badge Bros approval on this game. Nobody else can say they like this game. If they say they like this game on any stream moving forward, they're officially copying us. It is what it is.
GA took the words right out of my mouth, dude. The Tampa doubles are dead. We're in on Tennessee doubles now.
Stamp.
I don't care how you get there too, because both the running backs can catch passes. Chig a little undervalued. We were taking him in like round 10 or 11 last year. Dude, this is a fun one. Maybe we should expand this schedule a little bit and see, also here, I'll add a little for the bye week bros here. The Titans get it out of the way early too with week 5 there. So, things aren't going right early in the season. Hit the reset button quick, and then they'll be wheels up by the time they meet the Jags.
I would love to know how the NFL lands on some of these bye weeks. I don't like is there
just Pete, dude? It's Pete just spinning the randomizer wheel, and then they just go with it.
Like what makes them think? Like, I just want to know the logic behind no bye weeks in week 8 and 13. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, me neither. Does week 8 line up with like Thanksgiving or something like that? Or does it line up with, I don't know.
That's a good point.
Show me the buys. What's happening in the game I love. Oh, I respect that so much. Meatwater Green with us got Tennessee and Jags pilled there last night. So, he was first to it. Not us, Nez.
Of course. Shout out Meatwater.
Okay, I wanted to look at this real quick while we were on the same topic there. I got a ton of fun graphics here. I retweeted the vast majority of them. But if we go to this AFC South one, this was from Don Michael, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'd like to attribute credit, but I was just ripping graphics and dragging stuff like that. But player on the site there, I think he goes by Dom Wizard on the site.
I'm trying to see exactly so we can give proper credit here. Good.
Yeah, but just in that same vein, look at this like playoff schedule for Jags Tennessee. So not only do I like the week 17 matchup, not only do I think it's going to be good weather, I think all of their games are going to be free of weather and pretty fun environments. Like the Titans here, we get Bengals, Colts, Jags. Jags get Jets. I don't know what to expect from the Jets. They could just be full-fledged shootout at times, or that defense could still be really, really good. So maybe that one's a little scary. And then you get Vegas, which could be, just a trouncing or full-fledged shootout with pace up, and Tennessee there. Like that one low key, that combination jumped out to me.
Yeah, the Jets have the chance to actually be decent for fantasy just because they actually have a competent offense. That alone can just like be helpful for game environments.
Yeah, no, for sure. Jets is interesting. I saw a stat on one of these graphic tables somewhere here. Can't find it right now as we speak. But they have 11 primetime games total, and like 6 in the first 11 weeks or something like this. It was like a crazy record.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Like
this is my comp, Nez. Broncos of like last year when they bring in Russ, or was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, first year Broncos Russ, and they gave him all those primetime games because they're anticipating them to be good and be desirable to watch on the big stage, and we could just end up with an absolute travesty in these primetime games if that falls short.
Yeah, I have a comp too. Last year's Jets.
Yeah, literally. Yes. Yeah. We don't have to look that far.
God forbid. We don't. Yeah. And I can't believe they gave him another Monday night game against the Bills. Like, oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be holding their breath for that first try.
Oh, dude, for sure. Speaking of prime time games, I had the primetime games one. Oh, shit. I just X'd out of one of them. And I bet you it was the primetime games one. Oh, I just accidentally hit another X, man. This is not going to plan. You should see me right now. I got like 19 tabs open and I was fully prepared to just go in succession. And now we're like jumping around and I'm just butchering the hell out of this. But it was the Panthers, who don't even have a primetime game this year. And I was thinking about that just in terms of they had the 101 last year that they traded for quarterback of the future, and now they can't even roll a prime time game the following year. How insane is that?
That's good for us. That's good
Oh,
for
you
us.
want them under the radar.
I want them on all my main slates, and now I have them on all my main slates. It's Deontay Johnson season every single week now. It's fantastic.
Oh my god, that's so sick. There was Hope tagged me in a tweet last night that was like a week 2 matchup that got leaked, and it was Chargers versus Panthers. And she's like, "This is the lad McConkey coming out, scroll the F down game." And I was like,
Yeah.
counterpoint, this is the DJ Chark revenge game right here.
Oh my god, that's gonna be an ugly one. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
If the Panthers can like just be okay offensively,
Mhm.
like I don't think they're going to be a very good defense. Then they could be like a sneaky fun environment. Well, it just sucks. We just don't know until we know. Like it's impossible to tell from my vantage point of who's going to be a bad defense. But I would love to know. I would love to know who's going to be the
Yeah.
bad defenses.
Yeah, I mean, those are the hardest thing to project at this point in time. We've talked about this ad nauseum, that it's like defense is by far the hardest to project. A couple interesting ones. I don't know how to quantify it or what to do with it, but just like the differential in rest. Have you seen this graphic yet? I was just just astounded that like 4 of the top, whatever this is, 12, 15 teams or are all coming this year. And like just look at the net rest days for the Ravens. You want a team that's going to be fresh? Like this is that stacks up pretty nice for the big dog, does it not?
Yeah, that makes sense. I was reading this backwards. I was like, how? I thought this was like negative rest.
Mm.
I was like, how are we still not giving these teams adequate rest? But that seems to check out there. But yeah, how about that? I mean, by far the most well rested team in history. Yeah, big dog, fresh legs
Mhm.
against these Texans.
I thought
Come
I
on.
thought about it. I thought about it in terms of that, and then I thought about it in terms of the Patriots one, where it's like if you want to give your quarterback an opportunity to steal the job from Jacoby Brissett, what do you need? You need more downtime throughout the season, and you need like early bye weeks and stuff like that. This stacks up pretty well for Drake May for that second one with the Patriots there as well.
Yeah, that's a good shout. The only thing that I can think of is the fact that like my Steelers are just so not rested for the fantasy for the best ball playoffs. That's the only thing I could think of. And the
Yeah,
Chiefs too,
so
for that matter, to be honest.
yeah, they both rolled like what 3 games in the last like 10-ish
10
uh
days,
d-
yeah.
10 days. Yeah, so that's going to be a tough matchup for Steelers there. And then I saw, did you see the Warren Sharp one? I didn't have that graphic ready, but I'll pull it up right now, but just in terms of
Yeah.
like projecting strength of schedule.
Yeah, and how the Steelers are like far and away like the toughest schedule at this point in time, which like, you know, is kind of meaningless, but at the same time, when I mean the teams that they are playing, I think we can project them to be pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're buried there, but our Falcons, Nez, our Falcons.
Holy
That
shit.
seems fun, huh?
Holy shit.
Just in terms of strength of schedule. Holy. I mean, it's really hard to like take too much stock and too much weight in this at this point in time, but it's just it's fun little tiebreakers, man, to just be like, okay, maybe I was a little too low on that Drake London shit.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, it's definitely not. It's just like fun to look at. I don't think
Mhm.
you should be giving this too much weight in your drafts at this point in time.
Yeah, for sure. That's fair. Here's a good way to look at it. Our guy Tom, aka NFLT Stacks, their fantasy sanctuary, and created by his buddy Ben here. This is the team totals, implied team totals as of right now for weeks 15 through 17, and then just kind of like the average team totals that pulls out from there. Obviously, that well rested Baltimore team grading out pretty nicely with a dome game in there as well, and some conceivably soft competition there. Cincinnati as part of that schedule with the Tennessee game that we were looking at earlier. Anyone else jumping off the page to you outside of like the quote unquote obvious?
The Niners have a pretty sick schedule for
Yeah.
the playoffs.
Niners have the late night hammer for BBM. So they will be I don't know if it's a Sunday night or a Monday night game, but they're the last game, the last night game of the slate. Plus they have the schedule that sees them versus the Rams, not at Rams, versus Rams, at Miami. So nice weather game there. That could be a huge shootout in 16. And then the Detroit Dome Boner finish there. Oh, actually, it's not Dome Boner, but it's Santa Clara. Nice weather as is. Yeah, that's implied team totals as of right now, higher than 25 in all three of those games. Are we adjusting the rankings?
No, I don't even have rankings right now. I'm just using ADP.
Yeah. So are we pushing them up or what? What's the response to this?
I've already been pushing up the Niners, and the Lions. So like, I just have my favorite teams, and I give credence to some of these guys. It just as it naturally happens in my drafts right now. But I am right now just like navigating through puppies at the moment. I do want to be very intentional about my BBM drafts for sure. If we're not streaming and it's my turn or something. But
yep, fair enough. Highest average implied team total over the span of weeks 15 through 17. Obviously, a lot can change with that. But when you circle those games on the calendar, man, they just look like fun shootouts. Whether you project the defenses to be good, bad, better, whatever, they just look like, game environments that would be 3-4 pieces of those games would be going in the top 20 of our BR slates.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. What if Ricky Pearsall and Khalif Raymond is the stack you need, Nez?
I will have some Ricky. I have a lot of Ricky, to be honest.
Yeah. Maybe, is a guy nobody's taking that, like, we're just waiting to put him out to pasture, but he's not even that old and thought he played well last year, is Juwan Jennings. Like, Juwan Jennings in the 18th round as like a little cheeky second piece to some correlation might not be terrible.
I don't know, man. They took Ricky in the first round.
That's fair. That is entirely fair. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Is he a cut candidate?
We'd have to look at the contract. That's I haven't gone through any of
I'm not
the
a contract guy, but like
I don't think so, just because of what they gave him last year, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure they liked him and re-signed him last year, and that's what gave us confidence in the playoff stuff last year, that was like, yeah, they paid him and they use him.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, he was taken in the gauntlets because that's what you do when you draft gauntlets, is you just take everybody. Fucking Kyle Juszczyk was being drafted frequently.
Yeah, that's fair. Nope, UFA next year. It was just a 1-year deal that they gave him for this year. They gave him 1.89 mil for this year. So this year is fully.
You think they're just gonna let that sit?
4.89. That's what I said.
Okay.
So what did I say? I'm stupid.
1.
Yeah, 4.89.
Okay. Well, he can block.
He can block. I love it. I don't know. What about Ronnie Bell, dude? Are we leaving the light on for Ronnie Bell week 17 stack?
Are we?
I don't know.
Come on, dude.
Anything else, Des? Just like macro level with some of the schedule stuff you were looking at last night.
I think the Texans have a sick schedule. They're one of my favorites.
Miami at home. They get Baltimore at home, so obviously 2 dome games, and then they get a fun Week 16 game at KC.
Yeah, just all of these totals should be flirting with 50 by the time we get to the actual games themselves. And then the Packers have a really good one, just because they're at Seattle and then 2 dome games to finish out. So that's obviously very advantageous. And then
And
I gotta get my note cards out. I have them listed who I like.
The Green Bay one that's interesting. Actually, the Week 16 one is not at New Orleans; it's home versus New Orleans. But I mean
thanks.
That game looks. I mean, you get New Orleans, Minnesota, and Seattle. Those could all be 3 subpar secondaries that could be, push up like the pace games too, right?
Yeah. Those teams should be able to push the pace, like you said. And Vikings is also a pretty damn good one as well, with the Packers and the Bears. I think the Bears should be able to have some pretty fun games in all their matchups.
Bears are really interesting because they have an outside shot as well at being like legit the best defense in the league.
You think?
They got an outside shot at it for sure. A lot of smart people are saying that defense could be really good.
They got better last year.
Yeah.
I do remember that they were improved.
After the Montez Sweat deal, we became Bears respectors versus the run.
Yeah, they were decent against the run, but if the Seahawks can just like be a fun offense again, that Bears playoff schedule is going to be just so dope too. Because they finish out with Seattle, and then they get Minnesota and Detroit in there. So I think Minnesota, man, is going to be a very competent offense and one that we should have no fear of in terms of matchups.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fair. Yeah, Jordan alluding to the fact that it took us exactly 20 minutes into a May 16th stream to start.
It took you. It took you,
baby.
You were speed running that competition.
I am good at the bring back Bell narrative, baby. If you guys didn't think I would gal brain myself to some crazy shit, you don't know what's up around here. Hesitant to bring up this one. Ben Baldwin won. Just in general, like he just took a look at all the markets, all the spreads that are available out there, and just quantified what the implied potential spread of each game would look like if you just like amalgamated it all. So it just kind of gives you an idea of where the books think the best teams are right now.
The Panthers in their own tier.
Dude, it's crazy, man. The Panthers are, I don't know. The Panthers made all these offensive moves and stuff, and it just feels like whatever they do is wrong. It's crazy.
Yeah. They're swimming upstream, no question, but goddamn.
Yeah. I hope they, I don't know. Fuck. I don't know. It makes me really skittish on the BBM team we drafted yesterday, where we took Jonathan Brooks and Deontay Johnson on it. It's just kind of like, ugh.
Well, of course.
I was kind of shocked. 2 of them. The Cardinals one. Someone corrected us yesterday. Now I
saw that in the comments. And stuff
have come out that Cardinals are closer to 7 than they were 4.5. So that one's kind of trending in the right direction there. And then the Broncos one kind of shocked me too. I mean, they're not overly deep, but I thought enough was made of the change at quarterback and that I don't know, they would fare a little bit better. But this is also spread, not like fantasy funness, right?
Yeah, this is just literally like the teams in real life football. This has zero bearing, more or less, on fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hayden did the fantasy team projection utilizing that same data and then just did it for week 15 through 17. So kind of directly applicable to us for that BBM, who's going to be the biggest favorites in that window of time, and just Niners jumping off the page again.
Yeah, as we absolutely expected against the Lions, who we don't foresee a strong defensive jump there. I mean, these are just like,
this is 15 through 17. So not just Lions.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, these are just like, I mean, you look at the teams at the top, like, yeah, it checks out. This is who we expect to be good offenses. Yeah, I think this lines up with what everybody's thinking.
Yeah. We got some breaking news. Chip just dropped in the chat. Robert Tonyan to the Vikings, kind of fortifying that back end tight end, I guess, with TJ Hawkinson expected to miss a good amount of time. They just kind of need a body there.
I hope that somehow, some way bumps Hawkinson even lower. That would just be like chef's kiss.
Don't know if anybody cares about this one, but just like total miles and total time zones traveled for some of these teams. No surprise here that Chargers, Dolphins, and Seahawks find themselves at the top of the list seemingly every year in some capacity, just because of cross states travel. But anything to point out here?
No, I just like that we're basically like an episode of ADP chasing here. Just like all these visualizations and graphics. All we need is Davis.
The difference in all these visualizations and graphics is I spent zero fucking time creating them. And Sam spends hours and hours amalgamating all this data, making these nice visuals and stuff, and I just rip them from other people on the internet.
We're the Dov Kleeman of ADP chasing.
That's a great comp. Yeah, more charts, baby. Coastal travel, absolutely. Seattle finally not first. Yeah, there you go. For years, it's always just been Seattle. It's basically impossible for Seattle not to be at the top. Yeah, it's so true. All right, Nez. That's kind of all I got. Schedule, macro thoughts. Anything that was like your biggest takeaways as like rankings adjusters? We talked about some of the combination stuff yesterday, how like Lions and Niners are going to push each other up. We talked about, this is the one I wanted to talk about. Texans and Ravens share a bye week as well. This is the ultimate standoff of bye week bros versus week 17 correlation bros. Does that scare you at all in terms of that stacking from the 4-5 turn from like the 101, 102 area?
No. Okay. No, I'm not worried about it all, especially because I'm not taking two quarterbacks from the same game if I can help it. So, that's really what I care about is like QB bye weeks. Like I do want to avoid that at all costs. I'm sorry. That's
okay.
That I will capitulate to that.
Your QB bye week pilled. There was one draft last year where, what was the $100 contest last year? The 3 max Dalmatian, I think.
Yeah.
I did one in there and I took 3 quarterbacks and then they all had the same bye week. Just like not paying that much attention.
Yeah, that's not good.
It got through. It got through, but it didn't stand a chance. Yeah, I think it was Dak, CJ Stroud, and Bryce Young, and they all had the same bye week.
No, okay. Year, well, you had CJ Stroud, so you're good.
Yeah, but I'll never forget that one. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think everybody's gonna get dome boner pilled right now. I think everybody is gonna get implied team total pilled. I think we did a good job of highlighting the sneakiest 15 through 17 feels like Jags and Titans to me right now. Any other contender for you?
No, I like that shout. I like that shout a lot.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels like those teams could also be like, rounding into form a little bit later. I think more in the Titans respect because it'll take a little bit of time to figure that out. But yeah, it's good, man. Here you go. Chip will fight that bye week fight until his last breath. There you go. All right. Nez, let's talk. You know what? I want to talk a little basketball real quick. We've kind of exhausted the schedule stuff. Not going to draft today. We will draft upcoming. Speaking of schedule, or speaking of hoops, go Knicks here. I just want to know, Nez, I was doing a little look into my active live baseball NBA stuff. I only did 20 dances. We got 9 entries left. and we are not looking good, my friend. We only got kind of like 2 in contention here. Obviously, hardest round to get through in the NBA stuff is the second round here. Gonna need a big game here from some Pacers, much to Nick's chagrin. This is a OKC slash Pacers stack. How are you faring in the playoff dance stuff right now?
I think everything that I have live is built around the Knicks and the Nuggets.
Mm,
So everything else, like all my
that's
other
good
like,
living, dude.
yeah, it is. It's just like I need every Boston team to just get like eliminated. I need it to be mathematically impossible, other than like by like the hand of God placing you in a pod that is just absolutely dead, that like
Mhm.
no Boston teams can possibly survive. That's what I want, because almost all of my Nuggets teams have like 5 Nuggets in case of emergency, that it is Nuggets and Celtics, and I'm there with at least a full lineup when it's not Knicks there. And you know, it's just God, man, I don't even know what the turn of phrase to call this, a twist of fate, whatever the fuck is. I have 2 Knicks teams that are advancing right now that have Julius Randle on them. Could you imagine if I just had a little bit of help from Julius Randle on this team? I'd
I
be
think it would go a long ways.
I'd be cooking with mother effing gas, brother. Uh,
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things here, macro landscape. It's the Celtics taking care of business so effing fast in both series, and none of their players outside of Derek White really in that one game putting up incredible outlier scores, right? So
yeah,
Celtics are going to be hard to advance.
yeah. I
Uh,
need them to be impossible to advance. That'd be
they're
terrific.
almost there. Yeah.
And I have a couple Thunder and Knicks as well that are still alive, or a Thunder Knicks and then a Thunder Pacers, but uh,
Hmm.
nothing Dallas alive right now from me, and it looks like Dallas might pull off the upset.
Yeah, maybe they go up 3-2 last night. Nice block at the tail end of that ball game from Luca there. I don't know, man. I'm a real big proponent of OKC, and the Pacers need to start shortening these rotations, man. They are going like 10, 11 deep, and that's okay for our contest if you were like overstacking those teams. But most of the people that were stacking those teams were concentrated around the top like 3 or 4 guys. They need some secondary scoring help to SGA. I mean, SGA is just driving over and over and over again and taking over these ball games and putting up, 30, 35. But he's getting no help from Chet scoring wise. Like Chet was doing a good job with the blocks and that sort of stuff. But like, man, J-Dub, like 10 points a game, buddy. We need more than that. We need more than these 12 points a games if you're OKC, right?
Yeah, you got to feel bad for the Thunder. If only they had like assets to trade at the deadline to help get some more scoring for SGA. You know, like unfortunately they just had nothing. They had nothing to offer. So Gordon Hayward, it is, champ. Uh,
Right.
I mean, what the fuck are you waiting for, dude? It like
That's
this was not the only year, but like a great year to try to go in. Like, what are you
yeah.
holding out for, dude?
Yeah, no, that's a really fair point, man. You got a super young, inexperienced team that is ahead of schedule in quotations, and you have all the first round picks in the world to start dishing out to get somebody. And what do you see playing a huge factor in the postseason in the series against them is a Mavs team, which is obviously older, more established with Luca and Kyrie. But what did they do at the deadline? Those trades that we loved, went out and got PJ, went out and got Daniel Gafford, solidified some of that bigger stuff. And those guys are being huge factors in this series, especially PJ Washington.
Yeah, like even like someone like Terry Rozier, would it like it's just so silly. And these trades, they didn't you don't have to burn a lot of assets to get PJ Washington and to get like
Mhm.
I know
They didn't have
you're
to
the
burn
Thunder guy
anything to
here.
get. They didn't have to burn anything to get PJ Washington. They actually got out of that Grant Williams out of that Grant Williams contract. They like it was an awesome deal for them.
Yeah, so it's just like I don't know, man. Like what are y'all waiting for? But They need J-Dub to be more aggressive. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think this series does go to 7. But I'm surprised, honestly. I didn't think that that the Mavs would ever find themselves up 3-2.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, PJ Washington's been crazy good, but like counterpoint to this, Chip, just saying that he shoots 50% was the thesis from 3. It's like the counterpoint is he's always fucking open. Like those shots that he's putting up aren't like 30% shots that he's getting up. He's wide open in the corner every single time because the double goes elsewhere every single time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants me to click the PGA tab. I only got a couple more in last night. We can go. I didn't do any of the best ball one, or the ones that I did do of the best ball ones are dead. But we can look at the like 5 or 6 that I did. I only did 3. There you go. I did nothing of that variety. I was too busy finishing second place in the MLB streets last night.
Okay, buddy. Pump the brakes. I'm chilling at a 26th place right now, and
okay,
I've
take a look here.
Oh, buddy, and I've got a fucking monster team cooking in 270th right now. But
ooh, okay, you got one coming up the ranks here.
I've got
Canadian boy Corey Connors on this one.
Yeah, this one was for you, dude. I definitely did this one with you in mind, and Copper, because the Hatton pick. Yeah, anytime Copper has a strong conviction, I can't like not have a piece of it. But otherwise, I was like full fading Hatton. So he said that, and I was like, ah, shit, okay. But yeah, I got a couple Finau teams with Xander, so I'm loving that.
Has Rory finished yet?
Close. He is on the set. Oh, dude, we crushed that pick'em.
Yeah, we got to look at this right now. We got. That's what I was gonna say.
He's on the 18th. He's on the 18th, sitting at 62 strokes.
62 strokes. Oh, dude, divorce narratives in play.
As long as he doesn't triple.
As long as he doesn't blow up for a triple on the last hole here, we're going to be good.
Picture this. He's at the tee
all right.
18. And he's thinking about the fucking divorce, the divorce fees, and how much he's going to have to pay his wife. And he shanks one off into the third fairway.
Off the tee box setup right there.
Oh,
like right off the wood, the carom that you'll see guys do it at the driving range. They go with their girl or whatever, and they don't know how to swing, and they hit it off the mat that's like dividing the 2 tee boxes.
And he's yelling at his wife for no reason. Yeah,
that's all we're fading right now. Whoa, 66, dude. Did that mean he finished, or does that mean he's going into? Oh, dude, this might not be good. We're at 66.
Oh, wait. Oh, whoa.
Oh, dude, we might need a birdie on 18. Dude, we might need a birdie on 18 from Rory right now.
Oh, what? Well, hold on. Because I'm looking here.
No bad energy, Nez. What do you got?
This is 10-6-1 with 62 strokes. What the? This is why we need Neumy, dude.
Well, that's it. That's good. Actually, shout out to Neumy, guys. If you have a moment of time over the course, John C's got us. He's finished. We're all good. We did it, baby. We did it. 1 for 1 so far on the definitive narrative-based pick'em entry. Love it. If you guys do have some time this weekend or whatever, send some thoughts Neumy's way. He's officially on vacation as of today, so maybe don't tag him and stuff. If you guys need help in the Discord, I'd imagine Hope would be your go-to there. But Neumy's getting married this weekend, so big shouts to our son Neumy, and it's awesome stuff. He's getting married on Saturday there, so if you guys come across him in the Discord or on Twitter, wish him well.
Yeah. Shout out to Neumy, man. I'm super pumped for him. Make sure you guys send him some congrats or whatever. We do have a pick'em promo, John. I don't know if you saw this.
Okay, let's get in there. What is it?
It's a fun one. So I think it's a Scotty. Scotty lower, and it's so like this is a like unless Scotty excuse me, and it's $15 max. So instead of the 10, it's 15. So if you want to build something here, you already know what I'm thinking.
Do we just go back to the well with the Jason Day narrative and the drip and the new dad strengths already in here? What do you think?
I was gonna tell you to look at Jared Jones.
Oh, okay. What's his strikeouts at?
A little bit of a boost at 6.5, and a bigger boost at 7.5.
7.5 feels rich. I would set the number at 6. How he's don't strike out a ton. This 5.5 one feels really nice, to be honest. But
God, you're such a fish. You're such a fish.
You take the dock a little bit.
You're one of those guys that just.
All right, let's spice it up. He's on the cover, man. He's on the cover.
All right,
let's spice it up.
Who else on the cover that you like? I will say. Oh, go ahead. I'll let you. I asked you a question. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say it's football, guys. So nothing overly relevant. We could do something basketball related tonight.
I think we should shoot the moon.
Okay.
Pete Alonso home run. So other guys that are likely to hit home runs are like 1.5x. He's at 3.5, 3.25. He's facing Taijuan Walker, who sucks. So
yep. Taijuan Walker has been going nice in his last couple, but traditionally speaking, you are correct. All right, let's do it. I like that.
All right.
I do feel that the Scotty one, just like, even if you guys don't want to do this with the promo stuff, it does feel like the Scotty one is the safest of that bunch, does it not?
Yeah, that's like a gimme. Like they not only gave us a good number of strokes for Scotty, like a damn near freebie, but they also give us 15 instead of $10 max. So
yeah,
if you want to play it safe, you can just pair one projection with Scotty, put $15 down, and consider it a nice little boost on a simple pick too. That's totally fine too.
Yeah, I like that shout. Some Dogman Chill, potentially no Hap and Nico tonight, so that's pretty. I mean, Nico's right-handed leadoff, but they'll probably lead off with Talkman then, but no Hap taking another left-handed bat out of that lineup. Jared Jones's, man, his strikeout to walk ratio has been like nasty right now.
He's so awesome. Like, he's a great pitcher when he's starting to go see at the ballpark, because you're going to get a very efficient outing from him, and all he's going to do is just pump strikes. Like, you're not going to see any walks. It's just nothing but fastballs.
Yeah, it's George Kirby-esque, man.
Yeah.
George Kirby-esque with a better fastball. Nice little segue into baseball there. There was one more thing I want to talk about. Oh, dude, I was kind of bummed that they didn't give us NBA 2 gamer with tonight and tomorrow, especially with the absence of Q tags. Now that you've got Cleveland off the slate.
I know. I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know why.
I don't know if it's difficult, but the tech is clearly there. It's not too late. It's not too late. Like, you could put something out. You could put an 80K contest today of a 2 gamer, like now, and it would fill before lock. But
I do agree with
that. I don't know why.
Yeah, because I had a couple takes on there. I was watching, obviously, that series and stuff. Conley would probably still have the Q tag with the Achilles there. I haven't looked at the NBA injury report yet, but man, the handling rule for Jamal Murray is like way down, even when Connolly like is off. So I aped into the Connolly or into the Jamal stuff last slate because Connolly was off. Not that it's a huge factor, but just he had been having some difficulties, right? And I thought the handling role would come back, and they still ran the offense through Aaron Gordon. So I think maybe, some of these pick'em ones haven't fully caught up with the fact that Aaron Gordon isn't Aaron Gordon of old in this series. Aaron Gordon is like distributing, handling, and backup 5 run Aaron Gordon of this. It feels like some of these Aaron Gordon ones was where I kind of wanted to go with the next pick'em stuff as well.
Yeah, he's just like in general, just such an awesome story of like an NBA career, right? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy the role that he's like taken on and like how important he's been for the Nuggets. It's really dope. But that's a
Yeah.
good shot, man. Like, yeah, if you're not watching these games and just like playing and checking box scores, you should see what Aaron Gordon's doing out here, man. He's Point Gordon right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, GA asking, NBA pick 'em, we could try and build something in with that. I don't have if you guys have anything else that you guys love in the chat, let me know here. I'll click on the NBA tab. I didn't do a full deep dive on that because I just wasn't anticipating it. But the Gordon stuff was something that jumped out to me first. Is there anything else that jumped out to you?
Not like jumping out, other than like I liked the Nas Reed points. I thought taking
Ooh.
him higher on 9.5.
Okay.
It's not like a good value play. It's not like I don't. It's just vibes, and I
Okay.
like Nas Reed 9.5.
They have Connolly stuff up right now, which is interesting. I'm
He's
gonna check
looking
out
likely to play.
okay. If he's looking likely to play, I think we could do something fun here with if you still like Nas and think Nas is 6 man up and like I mean this is a couple threes for him. We could do the Nas one. I think the Jaden McDaniels and the Nas stuff would be lower targets for me if Connolly goes, right? Because those minutes / handling get restricted a bit
Yeah.
there. So I think something like that. And then you could do something in the same fashion that is positively correlated with Aaron Gordon being the handler tonight for them and go higher on his points, but then go lower on the Jamal points because he's playing off ball so much.
Yeah, I mean, I like the
That's kind of
sounds of
fun.
that.
Okay, you know what? I actually like that one quite a bit now that we did it. Okay, 1 BBM entry on that one. I
Good call.
know that the math says we should do 3 or 5 instead of the 4, but I kind of like the way that those ones are correlated there. So I'll toss it in the chat there if anybody feels so inclined to join us on that one.
Now that the payouts aren't binary and there's so many different multipliers, like I don't even give a shit
That's a
anymore.
good point.
I don't know.
Dude,
You know
that's
what I mean?
actually
Yeah.
yeah. When the payouts were like a fixed structure, yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, when the payouts were a fixed structure, the math was correct. But now that the payouts are dynamic, that
Hmm.
math isn't the same. Yeah, good
Yeah.
shout, dude.
Nick's
Um,
asking if the Wolves die today.
yeah, we got two. Sorry, we got two teams going for reverse sweepage. Here, that's them. The Nuggets versus that, and then our Canes. Our Canes are trying to make the comeback from 3-0, and now they're all the way back up to 3-2 going into Game 6 tonight too. So there's some potential for some reverse sweepage here.
The Nerds can't get away with this, man. We can't let the Nerds get away with it.
Well, the Nerds won't get away with it if the Nugs win tonight because the Nerds were like, look at the defense, look at the defensive rotations, even without Gobert. Like, there's nothing more nerdy in basketball than defense, isn't there?
Probably not. No. Well, I mean, net rating, Darko numbers.
Yeah, that rating and Darko numbers. That's so true.
Whatever Neumy tries to tell me whenever I tout Delano Banton.
Oh man, yeah. Fuck, that was a blast from the past. Delano Banton coming back.
Take me
Memories.
back to Delano Banton nights. Like I'm
Yeah,
feeling for regular season NBA already.
I mean, regular season NBA with like those 18K entries, 8 game slates are that's the sweet spot. Football on the Sundays and stuff is a sweet spot, and baseball 8 to 10 game slates is the sweet spot. Those are my 3 favorite slates on the site. Period.
Yeah.
Actually, when you were talking matchups there and talking Jared Jones, I was just looking up on the side here who I'd potentially see on Saturday for that Mariners game, and Luis Castillo going against Baltimore. That's a fun one.
Where's that at? Wait,
in Seattle. Yeah, I'm gonna go this weekend.
Is that Oh, okay. I thought you were talking today.
Dude, yo. No, man, it's in Baltimore. I ain't going. That's hysterical.
You thought you were hitting that game, huh?
Well, okay, so we're going to a concert. It's a wedding present for a couple that's good friends of ours, and we are going for a concert in Everett, which is like 45 minutes outside of Seattle, right? And we're
Okay.
going for the concert on Saturday night. So then I was like, oh man, we should just hit the Mariners game on the Saturday on the way back because the Nucks play that night. So I want to be home by like, 7 or whatever. But you could hit an afternoon game and then just rip back and be home by like 5 or whatever. And I was like, oh, this will be sick. Baltimore's in town. And I haven't bought tickets yet, obviously, but Nikki packed her bag last night and was packing like her Mariners jersey. She put like her hat on top. I told our friends already, like, oh, I'll buy the tickets. Like, don't worry about it. Like,
that's amazing. You got everybody all fired up. This is like such a spots in the office. You got all these false promises, and now you got to deliver.
Oh, such a fucking fish, man. I am so dumb sometimes. Like the most trivial shit. Like, how do I just miss that? Oh man.
God, that's great.
Oh, great stuff. Yeah, GA, yeah, always on top of it. Boomer John. Nez, I think we've actually, you know what? I gotta ask your opinion on Knicks Pacers. Knicks have an opportunity to lock up the series in Indiana. Indiana home team has won every game of that series. What do you think happens on Friday night with that one?
I think Knicks finish it off.
Okay.
The Pacers, giving them a good fight, but this is the Knicks series, man. This is just a playoff basketball take, and it's just like the Pacers just don't win this series. In playoff basketball, the Pacers just do not win a series against the Knicks. It just doesn't work out like that.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, my biggest issue with the Pacers right now is obviously Naismith was like in a little bit of foul trouble, but he wasn't in enough foul trouble to take him off the floor once they got one of the ones reviewed. They have to keep Naismith on Brunson. Brunson was absolutely cooking Nembhard. Nembhard made one game winner, a week ago. Thought he was Kobe the next game out. He was jacking it up from everywhere. He was taking way too much of the handling role on the offensive end. Like Nembhard, good Canadian kid, fucking get him off the floor, man. Like they are so much better when they close with McConnell. Let McConnell run and chase around the help side on Jalen Brunson. I don't know. That's just where I'm at with that one. I think they have to condense, and I think it has to come at the expense of Nembhard because he is getting absolutely cooked.
The only way that the Pacers can win is if, it's TJ on the floor and they get him like pestering the shit out of Dante DiVincenzo, and then Dante like hits him with like a throat punch. And then they get Dante thrown out of the game because Dante hates TJ McConnell. He can't stand TJ McConnell. And did you see so one thing, the last time these two teams played, Stan Van Gundy was insufferable, just awful on the broadcast. And I mean, and I like the Knicks. I'm rooting for the Knicks, but I think objectively he was just like terrible. And there was I think it was Miles Turner and Isaiah Hartenstein like up against like chin to chin. And you see like a hand kind of come in at Turner's neck and like push him away. And he's like, and Stan's like, that's got to be a technical foul on Alec Burks. You can't just do that. That's got to, and it wasn't even Alec Burks' hand. It was Hartenstein's hand getting him out of his space.
But Burks did end up getting a tee out of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they reviewed it too, and he got a tee out of it. Yeah, it was Isaiah Jackson who was going, chin to chin.
Oh, Isaiah Jackson. Turner. Okay.
Yeah, because it was the bench unit. Yeah, I do remember the play. Yeah.
Yeah, Van Gundy was just so annoying in that game.
Yeah. This is a good one from Chip here that like Benny Mathurin would make a huge difference in this series, both from the scoring potential, like the secondary scoring potential on the offensive end when like Hallie's not giving it to you. It's just like, yeah, it's so unfortunate. But he does bring up a good point, man. The two teams that we're talking about are the two teams that haven't made adjustments at all throughout this series, and that's OKC and the Pacers, right? They're just continuing to let the Brunson cook them, and they're continuing to let PJ Washington just cook them from the outside, which that one I'm a little iffy on. Like, maybe you don't have to cater to PJ Washington, but you have to condense your rotation a little bit, because there's no way like Case and Wallace and shit should be getting so many minutes in the playoffs here.
I mean, I'm surprised that it's not like Jason Kidd the one getting out coached. Like, kind of making me look a little foolish right now. Like, I talked hella shit on Jason Kidd, and he's out here, just telling PJ to, trust yourself, believe in yourself. You're a peacock. Gotta let you fly, and he's cooking. Yeah. So shout out Jason Kidd. I got to give him some flowers there, even though I do think he's a dunce.
And you know what? Jason Kidd, I would say, has had some influence on Kyrie as well, in terms of like the distribution role, like the handling stuff, like less focus on him attacking the rim and trying to score all the time. He had a career high in second half assists. He had a career high in playoff assists in one of the games. Like he has done this distribution role very well, and that has never been Kyrie's MO. Like Kyrie, I think he had an 11 assist game or an 11 assist second half in one of those games. It's like, wow. Yeah, I mean, that definitely has to come from Kidd to be like, yo, kick it around, right? Yeah, this is a good one too. Kidd can't play Maxi Kleber anymore. Yeah, he's forced to play Gafford and Lively and split those minutes up. That's a pretty good shout. I like that.
That's funny.
Yeah, Jordan bringing up a good point here. Like the Malone coaching masterclass, it's on full display. He saw exactly how they were getting cooked in those first two games, and then he went, boom, Aaron Gordon as a handling role, switch this out, like a high side screen and roll with two big guys instead of Jamal, who was just getting the clamps. Yeah, that's an awesome amendment, because the big stat going after the first two games of that series was Minnesota had held 6. Okay, let me get this right. I think Minnesota had held 6 teams to under 100 points this season. 4 times it had been against the Nuggets. The two of the regular season games and the first 2 postseason games in Denver. Pretty wild, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It was. Yeah, I think the stat was. Yeah, I think it was thereabouts. Don't quote me on it, but I remember hearing it on the broadcast and then reading it. But they had basically, out of their 6 matchups this year, they had held them under 104 times after game 2.
You don't really think of of them being that type of team.
No? I mean, like, he was really good defense.
I don't know.
You don't agree? Okay, fair enough. All right, let's talk about baseball, Nez. Let's rip some drafts and call it a day here. I got the schedule for today here. 5-game slate. Weather doesn't seem to be a concern. There's like a little bit of hovering rain, but it doesn't feel this guy
trying to my wife is like taking my car to go somewhere, and she's texting me. She can't fucking find. I'm like, it's where I always park. It's where I always park.
Oh, that's funny. All right, let's do this. 5 games. Weather doesn't seem like a crazy concern on the slate. Astros and Dodgers chalk yet again. These are 1 new series, 2 carryover series in A's and Astros. So last game of the series there, which means a little funky lineup stuff could happen. Same with Rays and Boston. Last game of a series. Cubs Pirates is new game of a series. They moved Jarrett Jones to start this game. This was supposed to be Paul Skeens' start, and then they flip-flopped those two, gave an extra day's rest to Paul Skeens for tomorrow. I don't think it matters, but just anecdotally, the last time both these guys pitched, they did face the Cubs as well, for what it's worth. And then new game of a series for Dodgers and Reds here. And then I already said carryover series, last game of series for Astros and A's. So 3 new games, 2 old games on the 5-game set.
Yeah, this is a fun slate. I like when they're condensed like this. It makes for fun, but it's kind of hard to do, a lot of, when we've been dealing with a lot of like double digit slates, which makes it like super, super easy to just like onslaught and just literally just like pick your team however you want to build it. Today is different. Today is much, much harder to do that. But if you're entering drafts late in the window, when people are jamming their Oakland Athletics onslaughts, then you can potentially build out your super teams, which I'm waiting for, because I've got some ugly looking teams right now.
Yeah,
I will say.
Yeah, entirely fair. But like the ugly ones can win. Last night, my second place team there, I didn't even have Aaron Judge on it. It was a 5-man Angel stack that everyone was afraid to get to, despite the Cards bullpen being depleted and that being a decent place to hit versus Lance Lynn. And then with Logan Webb, who was like SP8 on the slate. So 5, 6 scroll the F down pieces. And I feel similarly about today's slate, Nez. I think all the chalk is consolidating for, Dodgers and Astros for good reason or whatever. But like, man, I like those aforementioned Athletics, dude.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're super sneaky, right? Like, people don't realize that they actually do have some power. And I mean, people do realize that Christian Javier is not 2022 Christian Javier as much as I wish he was. So This has the highest game total, the highest run total on the slate for a reason, but it's obviously heavily, heavily weighted towards these Astros against Joey Estes, which I know nothing about, and I don't think you have to know a lot about Joey Estes.
I'll tell you about Joey Estes. He's the 3rd ranked pitching prospect in their organization. He's 22 years old. He's only started 1 game thus far. It was against the Mariners. He struck out 5 or 6 in that ball game, which was pretty impressive. But we're talking like mid-tier right-handed guy, like 94, 95 on the fastball, decent changeup away to left-handed batters, and then a slider sweeper kind of deal there. Here, I'll bring up his savant there. Fastball changeup, as you can see, slider, sweeper, cutter, which are all just, working off of the same pitch multiple ways there. Only 1 big league start. He was getting crushed at the PCL, though, but everyone gets crushed in the PCL because of just where the ballparks are, high altitude, pitching in Vegas, like that sort of thing. But he has a 6 ERA. 93, 94. He hit 94, 95. I watched the one against the Mariners. That's how I just know any of this. I just watched that ball game. He was hitting 94, 95 at the top of the zone. But yeah, he's not jumping off the page in any respect. He is definitely a guy you want to attack today.
Yeah, he's like the Astros are chalk. I mean, you enter the lobbies, they're like 4 of them go in the first 2 rounds. So that's definitely like the team I'm going to be just jamming in today for sure. We talked about the Mets against Taijuan Walker. That game in general, I just think is like both sides of that game I think are appealing.
Okay. Yeah. There is obviously Jose Quintana. Like Phillies fare better against right-handed pitching because obviously Harper and Schwarber are left-handed, but Schwarber had the 2nd most home runs in all of baseball behind Francisco Lindor last year versus left-handed pitching. So, I mean, he still does hit for power versus left-handed pitching. So, it's not a huge discount. Jose Quintana, guy who puts it in play a lot. This is a good ballpark for the ball to go far when put in play. I tend to agree with you there, Nez, that this does feel like a nice discount comparative to the 2 major chalk spots to still get to.
Yeah, I'm just like surprised it's an 8-run total.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Like, I don't like the wins are in, and these guys, like, I don't know. I'm probably not giving enough credit to their ability to like limit damage. These two pitchers, despite peripherals always screaming that they should be worse, but
Yeah, we've talked about Jose Quintana both on the show and in the Discord at his ability to suppress isolated power for like a long time now. And then it's kind of flipping back this year where he has been giving up some pop to right-handed hitters thus far this year.
that's a good shout.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those slates where like if you're playing enough entries, everyone's going to get to everything. It's just depending on like what kind of like contrarian spots you can get to for the chalk teams, or you can get to what contrarian stacks you can get over the field on as well. So it's like pick the contrarian hitters from the chalk teams and pick the contrarian stacks over the field. Those would be like the two things I'll be aiming to do today. Yeah. To note just those two end of series games and this Dodgers lineup. Some lineup notes. It's going to be an opener in Brent Suter. He's left-handed. That could mean something a little funky where like, you know, Kike Hernandez starts, but then gets immediately lifted after his first at bat for like Outman or something. I also think it's definitely in play that Will Smith could sit today, even though it's the first game of a series. Will Smith has played 7 games in a row, and his last rest day was Wednesday, and he normally does like the Wednesday rest days all season long, and he played yesterday. So I think there's a non-zero chance they rest Will Smith today, or he DHs today and sits tomorrow, something like that.
Yeah, that's a good call. You always got to be aware of when he last played, or when he last rested rather. So I'm always wary when it lines up like that to take him.
Yeah, I was looking at it earlier. There you go. So, and that was interesting. It was the last time he sat was versus a lefty, which, like, you know, today he would get in that bat versus a lefty, which is usually a good spot to target Will Smith. But, like, look, versus a lefty, they had been sitting him those last 2 times out, whether it's coincidence or not. Maybe they just think it's a softer landing spot to get like Barnes in the lineup.
Interesting.
Yeah,
maybe it's
bizarre,
just a coincidence.
Right? Yeah, it might be a coincidence. They did face 3 lefties before that, and he played all 3 of those days in the middle of the order. So it might just be coincidence that they were facing a lefty on the rest days of Sunday and Wednesday when they knew they had this long stretch of games coming up without a break.
That's what I would think.
Yeah. Anyways, just to bring it to people's attention that there's like non-zero chance that we see something funky because it's this middle of the week, end of series, start of series kind of stuff for certain teams. Yeah, Nez, anything else you want to add, like kind of like macro or whatever?
I think Justin Steele is going like a little too cheap. He's there like quite often for me. On the flip side of this, Connor Joe.
One note on Justin Steele, he hasn't exceeded 74 pitches this year, so I don't know if that's a target for them or if they're treating him that way. Just a nugget. I don't know.
Yeah,
do with it what
call.
You will.
Good call.
Yeah.
Definitely something to monitor. You know, low ceiling is probably there. But on the flip side, if I am attacking Justin Steele, Connor Joe is like the best player on the Pirates right now. Just red ass hot. And they called up Nick Gonzalez like last week. And this is not 2023 Nick Gonzalez. He's actually like been hitting AAA much harder than he did in years past. And since he's been up, he's been making really good contact, has a home run the other day. He's hitting really well. So like a sneaky play today would be Nick Gonzalez for me.
And they've quietly moved him up in the order. Like, you know, like he started in like that 8 or 9 hole, and then each incremental day as he's been making good contact and after he homered, it was like, ooh, here we go. Yeah, cool. I like that. A couple other ones. Glasnow, not great at he's slow to the plate and not great at holding runners on. So it's a good spot for the Reds to run, even though they have the lowest implied team total. on the slate, but at least Elliott will be cheap and batting left-handed. So if he gets on base, man, look for him to run, especially when they need to scratch and claw to score runs against Glasnow. So like one-off Ellie in the last round, like you can do worse. Absolutely. Their athletics I alluded to, probably low-key one of my favorite stacks today, just because of the power and Javier's been getting hit hard when he gets hit. He gets hit hard kind of thing. Gave up 6 or 7 earned runs in his last time out there. And then, man, I like the Rays today, man. Right-handed power in Fenway. They're probably going to do something cheeky with stacking. It wouldn't surprise me to see Richie Palacios hit like 4th or 5th, maybe even up to like 2nd in this lineup today. Maybe a less likely now that Josh Lowe is back, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's also his birthday, birthday narrative there, Nez.
Ooh.
No, but I kind of think Criswell is outside his skis right now. I think he's kind of like a right-handed thumber. I know the slider graded out well in Stuff Plus at one point there. He does not throw hard. He throws primarily sliders. If you just go up there and you sit sinker, changeup, slider, like those 3 all at about the same speed here. I mean, we're talking a guy who barely brushes 90, who he creates deception from his like arm angle and being like 6'6" and that stuff. It's kind of Bailey Ober-esque, where it's like he doesn't throw hard, but like he's deceptively fast because of his stature kind of thing. I think his results have outperformed what he's actually capable of thus far this season.
Probably. The Red Sox, though, are just pitching like out of their minds just as a team. So it could be something there just philosophically, like whatever they're doing is clearly working. But being in Fenway, the Rays are pretty sneaky as a stack today. They're a team that you can actually onslaught like the best players of that team with like Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah.
So they're one of the few teams that you can do that with today. So always looking for right-handed bats, even left-handed ones, but specifically right-handed ones when teams are in Fenway. So definitely into that one. And you could say the same thing with the Red Sox against Littell. I mean, I know that the wind is blowing in today, but anytime Fenway's on the slate, you gotta pay attention.
Yeah, especially when there aren't like any like clear screaming spots outside of like Dodgers and Astros, right? And if everybody just goes to like Dodgers and Astros over and over again, like just flip the build a bit and take like 3 Rays infielders and take like 2 contrarian Dodgers outfielders not paired with a stud, like Teoscar and Outman as your outfield options, and like Isak Paredes, Hit and Harold. I probably think will get a spot start today because last day of a series, hasn't played in a little bit. So maybe like Randy Rosarina gets a sit day, something like that. I don't know. That's kind of like gal brain.
I hope not.
But yeah, I hope not too. But you know what I mean? Just something where it's like Diaz, Paredes, and Palacio or something like that instead of doing like the Josh Lowe and Randy Rosarina and just attack the spot in a slightly contrarian fashion.
Yeah, evergreen point there for sure.
Cool. Let's hop in a draft here. I guess we didn't like definitively rank the starters there, but I think just Glasnow has to be like, he just gives you such a high strikeout floor, and he's probably arguably the best pitcher in baseball right now. I don't know.
He's like Zach far Wheeler's, and away the SP1 today. It's not even close.
Yeah, Zach Wheeler's leading in the Cy Young votes or Cy Young odds for the National League right now, but I mean, for my money, it's Glasnow. Anyways, Glasnow and then Javier, I kind of like going to the other side of. Jared Jones, we kind of think a little underpriced comparatively. You touched on the Justin Steele. You like Justin Steele over Walker today?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Yep. I think the ceiling isn't quite as high, but I mean, I like his chances against the Pirates more than Walker against the Mets today. I'm waiting on the Mets to wake up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of like an okay lineup to get to, like just in general, but like they haven't been going well, so nobody's getting there. I think if this spot had come after them scoring like 5 or 6 runs a couple times, like the Mets would be higher up comparative to everybody else today.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Especially when they got like a little bit of left-handed power. Like you could see DJ Stewart draw in today.
Yeah.
Nimmo, something like that.
Let's take a look at these Mets.
Nez Glasnow goes first there. Otani goes second, which is kind of like the meta. Do you like Tucker? You could get over the field on Jordan, who hasn't been swinging it nearly as well as Tucker, or we could go a completely different route.
I'm Tucker. I can't really make a case for anybody other than him right now.
Okay. Back-to-back days with a double. He's been homering nonstop. We disrespected him in the 7th inning stretch, or I mean in the dinger contest there by not pushing him up higher ahead of Corbin Carroll and stuff like that. I was listening to the Baseball is Dead guys yesterday, and it's funny to hear baseball guys talk about Kyle Tucker versus like fantasy guys talk about Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, he could never win MVP because he's been like the 3rd best player on his own team for so long. He's overshadowed by, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge and stuff like that. And all this stuff might be true, but like from like a fantasy standpoint, man, we've been raving about Tucker for like 5 years because of the speed and homers potential that he gives, and the fact that sometimes he would go ahead of Jordan or adjacent to Jordan in every single draft. It's just funny to see our vantage point versus like the standard baseball fans' vantage point.
Yeah, they're probably not wrong though about the MVP stuff.
Oh, they're no, definitely not wrong about the MVP stuff. Fully agree. Yeah. Jose Altuve comes back to us easy, kind of like 1-2 stack there, and then we could do something contrarian after that, or we could pass on it. What do you like?
I would say him or Jared Jones. I think, you laid out a good point about Justin Steele's pitch count, and I don't like Taijuan Walker. So
okay,
take your pick.
Let's take Altuve and hope Jones comes back, just because one pitcher has obviously gone behind us there. So you only got to fade no Bo Sox one time to get Jared Jones to come back.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah. Hopefully he's not here.
Dogman Chill suggesting that Shota should be top of Cy ranks right now. That checks out. That checks out for sure. He's been incredible. And that really got solidified with his last start out against the Braves. He got the full experience from the Braves. He got Ozzie Albies hitting from the good side. Obviously, they were missing Austin Riley in that game, but like he dominated that Braves team, and it's like, oh damn, yeah, that's a put you on the map kind of game. Not that any of the competition he had faced before wasn't great, but just the fact that like now it was like, whoa, here we go.
What if Nobo Sox is on auto draft?
We'll see as the clock ticks down.
Josh Lowe, I think, has a pretty high ADP, and that just doesn't seem like a pick he would normally make with Shohei. Bryson Stott's got a hell of an ADP for facing a lefty.
That's not. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He's been going good recently, I guess.
Yeah.
Bregman for the stack or Jared Jones for getting ahead at SP?
I would opt for Jones, but if you want to take Bregman, I don't blame you. He's hot right now.
Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, he had a break the slate game with 2 home runs and a double with the bases loaded. Then he had a 1 home run game, and then last night he just had a sac fly, I think, something like that. But yeah, he's had a couple good games in a row, but not subscribing to the he's hot theory here and sticking to our guns with the man from our pick'em who's gonna strike everybody out today.
I will say, I think whenever you're saying he's hot, I think it varies when you're talking about Bregman and a guy who's like waking up,
That's
right?
Fair.
Like
That's true.
This isn't like Michael A. Taylor.
This isn't Kevin Pillar the last 2 weeks being the best hitter in baseball.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Brent Rooker goes there, which is kind of unfortunate because I wanted the Oakland backstack to this. We could do some Mets stuff without Pete Alonso. We could do super contrarian with like a one-off Ellie De La Cruz.
I like Ellie.
We could go Tampa. Let's do Ellie one-off and then see where we wind up here.
Okay. I'm in some 7th inning stretch slows and been getting my Ellie, the Ellie that I should have had in the dinger in those drafts.
I like that. I like that. I respect it. What's his ADP in a 7th inning stretch? I haven't done one yet. We'll do one
I
on
think
stream soon.
back end first.
Back end first. Wow.
I mean, it makes sense, right? He's like top 5 in points scored. 14.
Yeah. 14. Bindle's saying we should take Justin Fields. We took the Justin Fields of the Pirates in Jared Jones.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Throws gas. Not as good as his counterpart in the rotation, Paul Skeens, a.k.a. Russell Wilson. That was pretty good off the top, Nez.
That still felt disrespectful.
We could go to some of your Pittsburgh stuff as the contrarian backstack here. We could go to Teoscar plus Muncie, something like that.
Oh, my boy Isak. What do you think? No, this is
who are we
strange one off there.
Who are we going to pair him with from the outfield?
Connor Joe, then. Do Connor Joe. We can could do some Pirates.
Okay. Connor Joe versus lefty, always kind of fun. Will you have some O'Neal Cruz, or will he be pushed down in the order today? So we don't want to do O'Neal Cruz. We want to do like just righties at the top of the lineup kind of thing.
Yeah, I do think you could do Cruz though, because Cruz is just like super hot, and it doesn't really matter who he's facing. And you mentioned Steele kind of on a quasi pitch cap. So
there you go.
I think you can do
might only face him
O'Neal
twice
for sure. Yeah, but I like the idea of doing Nick Gonzalez.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get weird with it. Take Nick Gonzalez here. Not ready to call him a lefty killer, but I do believe his first home run was off a lefty, was it not?
I believe it was a lefty, yeah.
All right, Nick Gonzalez, move up in the order a little bit. Connor Joe's going to hit 3rd or 4th today, I imagine, depending what they do. I mean, they have done the leadoff versus a lefty with him, but I think they'll lead off McCutchen because McCutchen's hot as well in quotations there. I think Gonzalez probably hits 5 today.
5 or 6, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
They might do Cruz 5.
Blake's 100% right. Comparing Skeets to Russ's against the Geneva Convention. I respect that. It was a little off the rails to
I'm ignoring it.
Hey man, be happy. We drafted 2 Pirates. Chucky Astros stack, contrarian Pirates back stack. Jared Jones at pitcher. Feels good, Nez. Feels good to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's how a lot of my drafts have kind of been going out. It's like, you take some players you like, and then next thing you know, you're left with nobody left good on that team. And now you got to like pivot to another 2-man stack. So it'll be very fun to see what ends up winning out today.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the camp of, I don't think the wheels fall off Jared Jones. I think it's too good right now. I think the fastball's too good. I think the swing and miss is too good. I think the fact that he doesn't walk anybody really helps and contributes. I know the Cubs are a good offense with some pieces back, but they do fare better against left-handed. It's hard to say. They have some good lefties in that lineup, but it's kind of a split actually. But I was thinking about like middle of the order. Pop plays better against lefties there, but I think I will be on the Jones side and we'll do less of the Cubs contrarian stacking like people seem to be doing right now, and I will be on the Oakland side of history. I will be a little bit on the Pirates side of history, and that's kind of the gist of baseball today.
Yeah, let's get this thing filled so we can get another fun contest up.
Guy wants to fill the $7 with 2,000 more entries so we can get another contest going at $25 or something. Nez, what do we say? We dust off the model, we do 1 puck draft, and we call it here.
All right, let's do it.
All right. My Nuckies on the slate tonight. I think second game I'm not going to. So I who knows? I may still wind up going there, but we're leaving kind of early tomorrow for this trip. So I was kind of like, I won't push the pace and go tonight. But who knows? We might end up at the barn still. But man, gonna be a fun game.
Can you how do my teams do for you in those last couple dailies? How do we do with Trouba?
Oh, I dunked all over your Truba pick, because if we had taken Miro Heiskanen, who was the stack, we would have won that night.
What? Truba was great, was he not?
Yeah, true. He scored like 13.5, but Miro Heiskanen scored 23.5 or something like that, and was the D-man you needed. And our contrarian one-off instead of the power play stack was the difference.
What the fuck? Even when I'm right, I'm wrong.
Soft room, Blake says we got Blake in here. We got Sam Olsen in here. Yeah, this will be a tough one. I imagine tonight that sticks with Picard after a solid game for, the majority of the game last time out. Nucky's heartbreaker at the end there. McDavid goes first. What's the model suggesting here, Nez? Does it like Igor enough over the field tonight? Does it like to go to some of the Vancouver stuff, or should we build out the projection darlings of Carolina?
The model's a nerd, and it likes the Canes.
All right. Let's flip the board up a little bit here. Let's take I see a lot of purple at the top. Let's take Getzel and go with this like PP1 kind of thing from Carolina.
Cool. Now, on the way back, let's see what Sam does.
Takes JT Miller and whatever. We could do the Sebastian Aho. We get some PP1 correlation, and then we could scroll the F down for a second line somewhere else.
Do you think this game might go nuts?
I think both games have the potential to go nuts tonight. Like they're both like
you think we get Aho on the way back if we go Trocheck? There's a Zibanejad?
Sure. Let's try it. I mean, yeah, let's try it. All right.
You gotta, like this game. This game's gonna be fireworks. You gotta get the run back here, and also, okay. So Blake goes Panarin.
Okay. All right, we'll go Aho here. The reason I wouldn't have done the Rangers is I think the goaltending is like considerably better in this series, and I would have tried to have done Anderson with this, but I don't know.
These guys are dialed though.
Igor and Besser go there. Blake has Panarin, so he won't take our goalie from us. What do we like here? I kind of like a scroll the F at defense here.
Trouba.
No. Don't make me do it again.
You want Brent Burns?
Yeah.
Mr. Burns?
Let's go. We got to get different, man. This is a like 1,200 person contest. And you can't just take the guys at the top and dupe each other. We got to get weird here.
Oh, you're going to be mad. You're going to be mad.
At what?
When I'm right. And Truba's out here just
short-handed
goaling again.
He blocks a lot of shots and he hits a lot of guys, which is like a pretty safe floor. But like the goal is just like such an outlier. He takes Anderson there, which is entirely fine because we're gonna end up with like Seelovs or something. Do we want a one-off or do we want a Carolina stack piece or Kreider?
I'm a Kreider guy.
Okay.
This is a gut feel. That's off the model. That's just me knowing puck.
All right. That feels all right. We stacked the Carolina game, probably the less up-tempo scoring environment comparative of the two, but Carolina's season on the line here. Trocheck and Kreider with the power play correlation there. Who do you prefer in net tonight? Seelovs or Picard?
Give me Seelovs, man. Nucky's got this.
All right.
Like, anytime you could take a goalie against McDust, you got to do it.
Oh, man. Oh, we took the wrong defenseman from Carolina. I'm being told by GA.
Who the what? Brady Skidgy?
Nailed it. The K's are silent for like Czech and well, not all of them, but like a lot of them, like like Czech guys and like stuff like that. K is usually silent. There we go. We got a puck team in there for the Top Shelf Thursday. Trocheck, Aho, Getzel, Kreider, Burns, Seelovs. Don't dupe us. Playing the up-tempo environment. Yeah, there you go.
Then why don't they spell it like that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right, let's tie a bow on it, Nez. Fun show. Love being able to talk all different sports with you guys and the community here, break down the schedule a little bit. Guys, please hit that like, that subscribe, notification on your way out the door there. You can catch Nez and I in the lobbies the rest of the day here. I'll be definitely filling up the baseball, trying to defend back second place crowns here. Can the guy get a W? Come on, man. Yeah, one was another, not the main slate. Yeah, but the guy's got to eke out a W one of these days, Nez.
You split second, by the way. You try to go back to back splitskis.
Yeah, split second. At least I wasn't duped.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a true dupe. You're right.
Yeah.
We'll give you that.
Yeah. Any parting words for the people? Are you going to do a paywall tomorrow?
Yeah. I'll be back here tomorrow early. So we'll have coffee pours, bit rips, all the fun shit. It'll just be like very casual. Like don't there's no itinerary class. It's gonna be a free for all. We'll see. We'll see what we talk about.
Love it, man. Again, shout out to Neumy. Sense of love Neumy's way. Getting married this weekend, becoming our son, growing up before our eyes, getting a real job, marrying somebody. This is great stuff here, man. The Neumy growing up in the last 2 years has just been incredible to see. I will be gone for the weekend, and then we will be back on Monday. I imagine we do a little bit of whatever's on the slate that day. I imagine it's going to be, hopefully, quote, fingers crossed, the start of new Hoops 2 gamers. That's what I'm hoping. There'll be a little bit of that, do some baseball. And if not, we can always fall back on some correlation matching in the BBM streets there. But yeah, nothing crazy planned as of yet. So open to suggestions there. Best of luck to everybody who is playing the PGA stuff, who happen to follow up with our Pick'em entry and join us on that one there. And best of luck over the weekend here. Anything else, Ness?
See you in the lobbies.
See you in the lobbies. Everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace. Appreciate you guys.